Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so today is Thursday, so last lesson of the week, and we don't learn any new rule. We'll be doing a quiz, so let's get ready for the quiz. So there's only 35 of us here at the moment. Hopefully you'll join and we will start. So while everyone is joining, can I ask you to raise your hands if you have seen last week's student handout? Because the student handout is sent via message, via WhatsApp, and it's on your parents' mobile phone, so they need to show you or email it to you. If you're young, they'll show you on their mobile. So how many age of you have seen it? You do need to go through your student handout at the weekend. Okay, so if you're joining in, please display your correct ID. So if you log in with your name, because you're logging in 4 times a week, you can actually change your name, your ID in Zoom. So you can set that as your student ID, your name in Zoom. Then you won't have to rename yourself, okay? But your student ID should begin with C. It should end with a room number. And for teachers, your ID should begin with LT. And please display correct room number so you can be allocated. Okay, so quite a few. We're having a slow start today, but shall we make a start with this 42 of us here? So mashallah, 10 hands are raised. So I take it that 10 of you have seen the student handout. Well done. And shall I just quickly say out the names? So we've got student from room 13, we've got Aman, we've got Uzma from room 5, Bushra, Farkhanda, Shaista, Sila, Humda, Kurat, Humail, Daisa, Hasib, Ashfa, Faiza, mashallah. Well done for raising your hands. Okay, so let's so this is what we did last week. So these fill in the blanks. As you can see, it says week 2, which was last week, and we covered the first 4 points in last week's lesson, and this one was actually done at the beginning of week 2, and this one is what we've done this week. Okay, so we're taking it nice and slowly, giving you plenty of time, and we keep saying these words for you, in Arabic, and written them here in English, so you have plenty of time to learn these. So let's start. Raise your hands if you want to read the quote for us today. I'll send a request, so you can quickly unmute yourself, please. Walaikum Assalam. Is that Farkhanda from room 11?
Yes.
Excellent. How are you, Beta?
Good.
Excellent. Beta, would you like to read the quote for us?
Okay. The one who follows the Holy Qur'an becomes the recipient of divine blessings and holds a unique bond with the gracious God.
Excellent. Jazakallah. Recipient means the one who receives. So if you follow the Holy Quran, the one who follows the Holy Quran becomes the recipient, receives the blessings of Allah Ta'ala and has a bond, right? So how can we follow it? We can do that by first learning to read the Holy Quran and then understand the meaning of it, okay? Then we can follow the teachings. Okay, Farkhanda Beta, would you like to fill in the blank for us today, please?
The letter Noon, Sakin, and Tanween signs produce an N sound.
Excellent, Jazakumullah. So Noon Sakin is what? Which letter? Noon with Fatha, Dama, Kasra, or what? Which sign do you think? So raise your hands, all of you, if you know what we mean by Noon Sakin. That's an easy question. So Jazakumullah Farkhanda, I'm going to unmute someone else. I'm sending a request.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam. Is that Sila from room 11? MashaAllah, room 11 girls are very, you do take part, don't you? Yes. How are you, Beta?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine as well. Beta, when we say Noon Sakin, which sign do you think Noon carries when we say Sakin?
To stop.
Sakin is when it has a sukoon on it. Okay. Any letter is sakin when it carries sukoon on top. Okay? Okay, jazakumullah sila beta. So remember, sakin means when the letter has sukoon on it, and the mean is your, it could be fatatain, kasratain, or damatain, and it ends with the N sound. The mean represents hidden noon sakin. And let's ask someone else to fill the second one for us. So there's 18 of you who would like to take part. Let's see. Nobody from C5. How's our Lajna students? Lajna students, aapki awaaz nahi suni. Aap apna haath khada kare from room 16, 19, and I'll ask you to read in the main lesson if you like. But for now, C2, C1, and C3, mashallah, are very keen students. Let's ask Adila.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, but I couldn't miss you with so many emojis there. I had to unmute you. How are you, beta?
I'm fine, and you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine as well. So Adila from room 8, but would you like to read this for us?
Yes, please. This is pronounced clearly Izhar when followed by any of the 6 letters of the throat. Al-haruful halki.
Jazakumullah. Okay, so but on this page, we've got lots of letters. Can you tell me which letters are huruful halaki? Are they these?
No,
No. Which ones did they are?
the blue ones.
Excellent. Have you memorized them?
Yes.
Excellent. So we need to learn the letters. We need to group them. So these 6 letters are huruful halaki because that's the articulation point. And when noon sakin or tanween, when they come after it, you're going to read noon sakin clearly. Am I going to read noon sakin clearly, or let's say ghain? Which letter I'm going to read clearly?
Noon sakin.
Excellent, because we're talking about the N sound, aren't we? So let's see. Here I've got noon sakin, and if I have any of these letters, I'm going to read noon sakin clearly, okay, as it is. And jazakumullah, let's ask someone else. Right, let's ask, who shall we ask? We haven't had room 17 students.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you, Daisa, from room 17?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine as well. Jazakumullah for asking. Now, your teacher would be very happy that you took part today, right?
Yes.
She's going to put a star next to your name today. Excellent. Well done for raising your hand. Okay, but would you like to read the third point for us?
Yes.
Contrast.
Contrast, this N sound merges into the next letter if following by the 6 letters of Idgham. Assimilation.
Assimilation. Jazakumullah. Okay, mashallah. Well done. I won't ask you too many questions on this. Okay, so the few words we've been saying again and again this week are your izhar, meaning reading clearly. Idgham means assimilation or merging. And now we have established that there are 2 ways. So there are 2 types of idgham. Idgham-e-kamil, I'm going to quickly go through because we've got 1 minute. Okay, so there's no gunna with the 2 letters of idgham, idgham-e-kamil. Idgham-e-kamil means complete. So complete here, ka sound. Complete merging of N sound. So it happens for these 2 letters. So if you have noon sakin or tanween followed by ra or lam mushaddad, then the N sound will completely be merged into the next letter. It will disappear completely. So this week we've done idgham and naqis, and we said that we do gunna when the 4 letters of idgham and naqis are followed by noon sakin. So noon sakin is followed by those, and these are the letters. I want you to learn this word here, yarmalun. It's a made up word, okay, of these letters. It doesn't mean anything, but you know that these are the 6 letters of idgham, and idgham and naqis and kamil is what you did, the last thing you learned in Nazirah level 1. Okay, so hopefully you've written this down, and let's get ready for the quiz. It's 6 o'clock, so I'm going to hand over to our main course leader, Mrs. Wood.
Okay.
Jazakumullah beta.
Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Everybody put your hands down for now. We've got somebody who's going to volunteer to read, but I do need somebody to repeat. Now, the person needs to repeat after the reader is somebody who is perhaps familiar with Surah Nasr. We don't want to make mistakes. I'm talking about simple mistakes. I don't expect you at this point to read with all these rules at the bottom. We will be learning them soon in the next few weeks. So if you're confident in reading Surah Nasr, then you may volunteer to repeat after the reader. So in the meantime, I think, is it Afsha or Ashfa? Noor.
Assalamu alaikum. It's Ashfa.
Walaikum assalam, Ashfa. Ah, okay. So let me find someone to read after you. So if you've got your hand up, that means you would like to repeat after Ashfa. I'm just going to unmute.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Jazba, how are you, beta?
Good, how are you?
Good. Are you ready to repeat after Baji?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Ashfa.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح
إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح
ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا
ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا
فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر
فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر
إنه كان توابا
إنه كان توابا.
Jazakumullah, that was very nicely done, accurately, and both of you were reading all of the simple elongations, including this ghunna here, and we'll learn the rest of these rules as we go along, inshallah. And these are the rules, Jazakumullah, both of you, and we'll have Ashfa back later on as well to do the dua. Everybody remember, you must come back for the dua, because you should recite this dua after reciting the Quran, and we need to memorize it. Now, this is the rule of the week, Idgham. It was actually last week. And now, Idgham. Now, Idgham and Izhar, it doesn't just have to be for the end sound, it can be for other letters as well. But what we want to do is we are focusing on the end sound because it can change, you see. Some other letters don't change as much, but this one has a lot of variation. So I'm going to ask for some volunteers as we go through today, because today is Thursday. It means that you have been doing this rule. It means that you should kind of know this rule. And so you're actually going to take, I'm going to ask you, so you're going to kind of take the lesson, okay? So I'm going to ask somebody to unmute. If I've sent you a message, could you please unmute?
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Is that Uzma?
Yes.
Okay, Uzma, you're going to tell me. Now, first of all, when we talk about Izhar and Idgham, what sound in these phrases are we talking about? We're talking about the tanween here. It could be a nun sakin, or it's an end sound, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there and there, okay? Now, what does Izhar mean?
Izhar means when you join a letter with sakin.
So Izhar means when you read it clearly. Now, which one of these? Now, I'm going to read them out, okay? Now, listen out for this N sound, the N sound, and you tell me where you can hear it clearly and where you can't, okay? وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ مُحَمَّدٌ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. Which one was clear?
The above one.
Excellent, very well identified. Excellent. Jazakumullah. Well, thank you for your help. You got that correct. Now let's go and find another volunteer. I'm going to ask. I'm just going to ask you to unmute.
Assalamualaikum.
Hi, Islam. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, alhamdulillah. Now, so how do you know this is Izhar? How do we know that we read this clearly? Muhammadun illa. How do we know?
Because you read it clearly.
I did read it clearly, but there was a rule. There's a reason why. Which letter do we have to look at?
The alif.
Right, so this is written as alif. Actually, you know, we'll cover this a bit later. This is actually technically called when an alif or something that's written as an alif has got a sign on it. We actually call it hamza. That's not to confuse you. That will actually make things clearer, because when we talk about huruf-e-halaki, letters of the throat, we always tell you that hamza and alif are the same. Well, in fact, in that situation, it's always when there's a sign on the alif, it means they're the same sound, okay? The same sound, and therefore we just call them hamza. Hamza is the word that we use, okay? So here we have a hamza maksur. It doesn't matter what sign's on it. That makes it clear because the hamza, or the it looks like an alif, the hamza is huruf-e-halaki. Can you remember what huruf-e-halaki is? If halq means throat, what are huruf-e-halaki?
The letters of the throat.
Letters of the throat. Okay, so if nun sakin or tanween, the N sound, is followed by any of the letters of the throat, 6 letters of the throat, it will be read clearly. Jazakumullah, thank you very much for your help.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Do we have a quiz today?
This is the quiz. Okay. All right, I have to ask you questions. Right, so let's ask somebody else. Now, everybody, you should be saying the answers. I'm asking someone to unmute. It doesn't mean the rest of you stay silent. You all have to shout out the answer yourself. Usman, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Now, so if that's Izhar, this one is Idgham. Why is this one Idgham? First of all, what does Idgham mean? Do you remember?
It means
how about blending, merge? Yeah?
Means when you like merge.
Yes, correct. When you merge the N sound into the next letter. And why are we merging it into the next letter? What's the condition? Why? Do you remember? We said that there are 2 letters of Idgham Kamil because of the Ra. Okay? The Ra sound. Okay? So we don't say Muhammadun Rasulullah. What do we say? Do you want to repeat after me? You okay, someone's muted there. So we do, I'm going to ask somebody else to unmute. Aslam Haris, beta, can you say this idgham here? This whole make sure you do ghunna on the mim mushaddad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم محمد رسول الله.
Excellent, Jazakumullah, very good. Okay, so that's because of the Ra. You did not hear him say any kind of N sound because Idgham took place. Jazakumullah, Haris. Right, let's go now. So last week we did those, and this week we did, that was complete. So we did the opposite. We did when the N sound is read clearly, Izhar. There's that word Izhar. Look, Izhar. It's read clearly, Izhar. And there were 6 letters of the throat. These are the 6 letters here. Hamza, Ha, Ain, Ha, ghain and kha. When they follow the end sound, they have no effect on the end sound. It's just read clearly. An'amta, right? For example. Then last week we learned about idgham. There's your idgham. But we did idgham kamil first. Kamil, complete assimilation, where there is no gunna, and there were two letters, the ra and the lam, and they merge completely. We just had an example of that up there, Muhammadur Rasulullah. And then this week we did idgham naqis, which is partial, which means incomplete assimilation. And there is a gunna, and there's four letters, and these are the four letters. Remember, we made a word out of them, yanmu, ya, nun, mim, and wa. Okay, this was the rule of this week. So when I put this on the screen, you should all understand now what this refers to. This is the rule of nun sakin or tanween. Can you see there's a tanween, there's a nun sakin, it's the n sound. It's all the same sound. It doesn't matter whether it's tanween. I think ACL called it, it's an invisible nun sakin, the tanween sound, okay? That's going to change. It's going to change according to what letters follow. Last week we learned that if it's followed by these 6 letters of the throat, al-haruf al-halaqi, we have to read it clearly. Then we learned that when it's followed by a ra or a lam, it's the opposite. It disappears into the next word. And then this week we learned that this also disappears in there, but partially, not completely. You're left with a ghunna. Okay, this is where you get the ghunna. Make sure you hold it for 2. And it's always a mushaddad letter where idgham takes place, okay? Ghunna means you hold it for 2 counts. It's a nasal humming sound, okay? So I'm quickly going to tell you izhar. So izhar, nun sakin tanween is followed by one of these 6 letters. You say it first and I'll say it. Man amana. You say it first and I'll say it. Adabun alim. Okay, nice and clear. You heard it now. Now it's going to disappear, that end sound, because it's followed by a ra or a lam. You say it, then I'll say it. Mir rabbihim. Then you say it, then I'll say it. Milladunna. Okay, there's no gunna there. The only gunna is here. That's a separate rule altogether. It's nun mushaddad. Now, I need somebody now to help me to read the rule of this week, which is idgham naqis, idgham with gunna, which is partial assimilation, partial merging, not complete merging. If I'm sending you a message, it means you've got if you've got your hand up, I assume that you want to read. I'm asking somebody else to unmute now.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, Mehreen.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay, you have the word man and yaqulu. Let me hear the gunna here. You've got partial merging because nun sakin is followed by a ya. How would it go? Do you want to repeat after me?
Okay, so okay.
Can you see it better?
Yes.
You want to repeat after me, or would you like to read it?
I can read it.
Okay.
Ma yaqulu.
Okay, a bit harder. Manja, like this.
Ma yaqulu.
Perfect. Mashallah. This one.
Min ni'matin.
Very nice, Gunna. Mashallah. Okay, this one.
Min malin.
Oh, I really hear the Gunna there. And here, better.
Min walin.
Everybody keeps forgetting this alif madiyah. Make it long, better.
Oh, sorry. Min walin.
Good, good, good. Yeah, you could hold it a bit longer, the one, like you did a very beautiful gunna here and here. Now, did you hear that she was making the gunna sound? So it's a mushaddad letter that will follow the nun sakin tanween. Now remember, nun and mim mushaddad are gunna anyway, but ya mushaddad and waw mushaddad are only gunna when they are following the end sound. Okay, and you might come across that again. Okay, so again, here are the izhar letters. Jazakumullah, thank you for your help. That was beautifully read, Mehreen. Now I'm going to ask somebody else to unmute. Again, all of you
Can I read?
saying this out loud. Assalamu alaikum, Maryam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, Maryam, you've got to tell me, can you remember which are the letters of idgham naqis, the ones where you say with gunna? And the clue is the word yanmu. Let me give you a clue with the word. It's an acronym. Oh, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. That's a meme. That's a wow. This is the clue. So you're looking for these letters. Can you see them anywhere? The letters of Idgham and Naqis?
Yes.
Where are they, beta?
It's the ya.
Where's the ya? Here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What's the next letter?
Noon.
Noon, yeah, very good.
Meme.
Meme. Now, everybody else, you should be shouting this out and see if you can get it before we get it. Yeah, yeah, and there's meme, yeah. What else?
No. Wow.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Excellent. Jazakumullah, mashallah. Excellent. Okay, yanmu. These will create a ghunna sound, okay, with assimilation. Excellent. Jazakumullah. And I hope everybody else was shouting them out wherever you are, okay, because you should know them as well. And this is what we have to do. We have to find we have to find the rule, okay? So I'm just gonna let's test ourselves, see if we can find the rule. So I'm gonna number these line numbers. Now you start looking. Now you start looking for the noon sakin and tanween, and tell me where you can see the idgham and naqis yanmu, the ya noon meme or wow after noon sakin or tanween, and it has to be a mushaddad. 1, 6, 7, 8. I think the lesson will finish by the time I do this. 9 and 10. Okay. So let's ask somebody else. A lot of you have got your hands up. I'm going to ask somebody who I've not asked before.
Assalamu alaikum.
My Islam Rusa now. Can you find a noon sakin or tanween followed by a ya noon meme or wow mushaddad? Let's have a look at the first line, okay? Now tell me when you can see there's a noon sakin, but it's followed by a ta. We're not interested in that. How about further on? What's that followed by? Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be the idgham and naqis. We would say وَمَن يَرْغَبُ. Can you say that? Okay, let's carry on. How about on line 2? Can you see a noon sakin or tanween followed by ya noon meme or wow mushaddad? What's this noon sakin followed by? Meme mushaddad, right?
Yeah.
So we want to do ghunna. Millati. Can you say that?
Millati.
Shabash. Excellent. Jazakumullah for your help, Urusa. I'm going to ask one more person. So you got to look. Everybody look. Everybody look and see if you can find the rule. Because when you read your Quran, you've got to recognize the rule.
Hello.
Assalamualaikum, mobile. How are you?
Assalamualaikum. I'm good. How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah. Now let's go on to, now I can't see it on line number 2. Now here, the noon sakin is followed by, it's followed by a ya, but it's not a ya mushaddad. Do you remember this word from yesterday?
Can't really see properly.
Can you see line number 3, beta?
Yeah.
Right, so that's the exception to the rules. Remember I said that there's about 4 words or something in the Quran where the noon sakin is followed by a ya, but it's not a ya mushaddad. So we just read it Izhar. We don't read it idgham. We just say fid dunya. Can you say that?
Fid dunya.
Okay, but let's carry on our search now and see if we can see another noon sakin. You tell me. Look for noon sakin or tanween followed by a ya noon meme or wow. Let's yan mu. You keep looking and you tell me which line. Ya noon meme or wow. Let's keep looking. I can't see anything here. I might be missing it. Can't see anything here. Let's go to line 6. Now there's a noon sakin, but it's followed by a ta. We'll learn that rule later. Okay, we're not interested in that one. There's another noon sakin followed by a ta. We're not interested in that today. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. There's a noon sakin followed by a ba. We'll learn that one next week. See how many rules there are.
Yeah.
And we carry on, carry on, carry on. And oh, what's coming up here? Can you see a noon sakin or a tanween coming up on line number 9?
No.
What's that? And what is that?
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Actually, this sign means that you can join. Okay. So it's followed by what letter is it followed by?
Wow.
Wow. Wow, mushaddad. So that makes it idgham naqis. So we don't say wa ishaq. So let's start from here. So we don't just say ilahum wahida. We say ilahum wahida. Can you try that?
Ilahum wahida.
Excellent. Nice. Now, we're going to join it on. So let's start from the wa. Wahidan wa nahnu.
Wahidan wa nahnu.
Excellent. So I heard gunna, 2 counts there, and they're very nicely done. Okay, so this is just to show everybody you have to now find the rule. It's going to take a bit of practice. This is why we keep, every week we say, Jazakumullah, thank you for your help. We keep saying to you, find the rule, recognize it. Another rule quickly, compulsory stop. Waqful lazim, right? Lazim, the compulsory stop. We have to stop there, okay? And you did do this at the beginning of the week. I think you could possibly do this in the breakout room. We're going to go soon. I just want to quickly give you a heads up on the breakout room. Okay. Now you find it before I do, right? The rule, idgham naqis. Look for the noon sakin and tanween. Here's a tanween, and there's your wow mushaddad. That's your idgham laha bin wa. Okay, let's look again. Not interested in that. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. Let's carry. Oh, here we go. No, that's got a there. Here we go. You can, if you continue, then you will get the idgham naqis because there is a tanween and there is a waw mushaddad. Laha bin wa mra'atu. Okay, and then let's carry on, carry on, carry on. And look, there's another tanween there, and there is a mim mushaddad. And if that's not enough, we've got this noon sakin and another mim mushaddad. That idgham naqis, goodness, it's a whole jalsa going on there, isn't it? Loads of them there, right? So that's what you're going to do in your breakout room. You've got to recognize it and read it. Okay, let's go into our breakout rooms now and come back, please. All 142 of you, come back afterwards. Jazakumullah.